From Frozen to Bambi, get ready to have your childhood memories scarred by all the outrageous sexual innuendos in Disney films you might have missed out on as a kid. Trust me, it's a rite of passage. First up, Pixar has a history of using innuendos meant just for the adults in the room, possibly even more so than parent corporation Disney. Think back to the original Toy Story from 1995. In particular, one of the characters that lurks in Sid's bedroom that serves as Exhibit A. Legs is a toy that lives with a spider baby. Yup, that horrifying spider baby. So Legs is basically a set of Barbie doll legs with a fishing rod for a body that would turn Legs into a walking hooker, which isn't subtle. But damned if it doesn't work as a visual joke aimed directly at adults. Now for the next one. If you don't know what Lemon Party refers to, I'm begging you not to Google it. This innuendo is from Cars 2. All you need to know is that the term Lemon Party refers to a shocking image that's been widely circulated on the internet, showing three elderly guys engaging in, well, let's call it lovemaking. Moving on to one of the most outrageous Disney inside jokes. You remember how old vehicles known as the Lemons are the villains in Cars 2? They're involved in a global conspiracy involving fuel. Well, these elderly cars are seen holding a party in one scene, complete with lemon hats, lemonade, and a table covered in lemons. One partygoer even inquires, "Isn't this a terrific party?" in case anyone wasn't aware of what was happening. For the life of me, I can't think of any other explanation for why these villains would be called the Lemons in the first place, why they'd all be older gentlemen, or why there would be a scene involving elderly characters at a lemon party. I'm just going to jump to this conclusion. Pixar is full of perverts. Girls, remember crushing on Aladdin? Well, say goodbye to your childhood crush. In this one scene, we all wondered who those seductive women in Aladdin's intro scene are, right? Now that we're all grown-ups, let's get to the point. Those women were, well, let's just say women of the night, if you know what I mean. This brings up the following issue. How can those know Aladdin so well? And why do they force the man out of a window? Seems like Aladdin has been to that place one too many times before. They probably want him gone since they're aware that he can't afford to pay for their services. Childhood? Ruined. Oh boy, you're not ready for the next one either, I don't think. Remember Bambi, the cute movie with bunnies? Bambi, the sixth Disney animated feature film, was produced back in 1942. It's still a hot topic among viewers today, and not just because of the scene in which Bambi's mother is killed. No, Bambi is a topic of discussion among internet users right now, since it may be subtle sex ed for the whole family. We witness Thumper, Flower, and their companions acting strangely in a scene that, well, depending on the context, may actually be not safe for work. Thumper's ears twitch in alertness as he spots a lovely female rabbit. His entire body goes into a frenzy at one point. Then he becomes limp after their bodies have touched, cringing so hard right now. The same is true for Flower, who, much more provocatively, stiffens and turns scarlet after receiving a kiss from a gorgeous female skunk. Look, I'm on a mission to make you question your entire childhood, so just know it gets worse. Let's talk about a fairy tale now. We all love those, right? Sweet, happy endings. One of the movies that helped make Walt Disney the most well-known movie studio in the world was Cinderella, which debuted back in 1950. It's a film that's also attracted a lot of attention in the internet age. Naturally, the attention is directed at a scene that, well, when taken out of context, is distractingly hardcore, slight pun intended. Given the filthmongers that we are as a society today, why not include it here too? Now, the film's rodent heroes, Jacques and Gus, decided to steal a number of beads. You already know where we're going. The boys don't have a lot of option for carrying things because, well, they're mice. But Jacques has an idea. Tie the beads to Gus's tail and walk them out. And there you have it. A scene that you'll never watch again without being distinctly reminded of something else. Coming back to Toy Story, the third part, this time to tell you something important. Mr. Potato Head is quite the freakster. In case you missed it, Toy Story 3 contains more gruesome events than the gang nearly melting to death in a massive furnace. Soon after the movie begins, the toys learn that Sunnyside Daycare isn't the utopia they'd been led to believe it to be. Lotso Huggin' Bear initially reveals himself to be a monster when the toys question the strawberry-scented bear about leaving Sunnyside, but Lotso chooses to mute them instead of listening to their sob stories. Literally, in the case of Mrs. Potato Head. Lotso grabs Mrs. Potato Head's plastic mouth as she pleads for the toy's release, making her husband scream in protest. "No one's gonna take my wife's mouth but me." What Mr. Potato Head might mean by that is open to your imagination. But hey, don't blame me. And now for the age-old question. Does size really matter? Well, not to Anna, I suppose. Any fan would attest that as Disney gets older, its innuendos become more daring. In 2013, Frozen became a tremendous hit for Disney. grossing more than $1.25 billion at global box offices. This resulted in a huge number of kids being exposed to a joke that was always intended for adults, regarding a man's foot size. As Kristoff and Anna get to know one another halfway through the movie, they start talking about the qualities of Prince Hans. Kristoff is curious about everything, so it goes from innocent things like eye color and favorite dish of Hans to, well, his foot size. You can really catch Anna's reaction change timidly, maybe ashamedly. With her response that foot size doesn't matter, Anna alludes to the possibility that Hans may not be all that regal down under. Next, for a movie set in France, are any of us surprised? Yep, I'm talking about all the innuendos in Ratatouille.
Soup! Stop that soup! No! Linguini, you're fired! F-I-R-E-D! Fired!
He wants to see the chef.
But he
What did the customer say?
It was not a customer. It was a critic.
Eagle?
Soline Leclerc.
Leclerc? What did she say?
She likes the soup.
Ratatouille has a remarkable number of double entendres for one of the loveliest Pixar movies to date. You know the joke about S devices are made of vegetables? Don't look at me, y'all. We hear Anton Ego say, "If I don't enjoy it, I don't swallow it." Am I supposed to watch with a straight face?
I don't like food, I love it. If I don't love it, I don't swallow.
If anything, I hear Michael Scott in my head screaming, "That's what she said." Also, you catch a quick glimpse of a man painting a naked picture of a female partner, which is less shocking given that the movie is set in Paris. Then there are a few references to the hero Linguini's masculinity, one of which is not at all subliminal. Linguini stammers as he tries to reveal his secret to Colette. It's kind of disturbing. I have this small, tiny. Colette glances down at his crotch, almost concerned. Now, this movie gets really raunchy with vegetable. You know the scene when Linguini is caught by Gusto's restaurant real chef Skinner as he creeps around the kitchen pantry? Linguini tells Skinner that he's simply familiarizing himself with the vegetables. "Leave now, one can grow too accustomed to vegetables, you know?" responds Skinner in a cryptic and, to be honest, somewhat unsettling way. Reconsidering all the times I've eaten in restaurants in 3, 2, 1. Phew. That's all the time I've got for the most outrageous sexual innuendos in Disney films. See you next time.